How to support your children after a divorce. Loving your kids the right way post-divorce. Hello everyone. Divorce is never an easy journey, especially when children are involved. Many parents, after parting ways, carry a sense of guilt and try to compensate for it at all costs. Often through material things. But is that truly the best approach? Today, let's dive deeper into this topic. First, I want you to remember 2 key points. 1. Compensate for your children with genuine love, not by filling the void with toys, gifts, or unreasonable privileges. 2. Parents need to maintain an open, calm, and honest attitude with their children, helping them understand that divorce is not the end of everything, especially not the love that parents have for them. Now, let's explore each aspect in detail. Don't compensate with material things. It's a common reality that, after a divorce, most parents try everything to ensure their children don't feel deprived or can grow up normally. A very common reaction, almost like a psychological defense mechanism, is the urge to make up for the loss. We try to compensate for our children's emotional voids by buying them things, lots of things. For example, a busy mother who feels guilty for not spending enough time with her child might buy expensive toys. A father who doesn't live with the child might shower them with new clothes, delicious food, or become overly permissive with their demands. At first glance, this seems reasonable. We want our kids to be happy. But did you know that these actions can unintentionally teach children something harmful? They might start to believe that their parents are buying their forgiveness or affection, trying to win them over or gain their sympathy over the other parent. Over time, this can foster a habit of demanding things or even calculating and comparing their parents' love. What's truly important for children at this time is stability in their daily routines and consistent family discipline. If we loosen discipline out of guilt, we may inadvertently make our children feel more insecure, stripping them of a stable foundation. Breaking established routines and rules is a risky move, especially when children are in a psychologically sensitive and vulnerable phase. So, dear parents, please don't try to compensate with material things, fancy food, or unreasonable privileges. What your children need most is genuine love, care, and attention from those closest to them. Spend time listening to them, letting them feel that their emotions are respected and understood. When we compensate with love, children will gradually believe that divorce only ends the marital relationship between their parents, not the love or familial bonds that remain forever. At this stage, children also start forming ideas about fairness. Who's right or wrong, and who's to blame for their parents' situation. This is when we need to help them understand that adults can make mistakes too, and children can help their parents recognize and correct those mistakes, rather than dramatizing their circumstances. If your child still hopes that their parents will reconcile, gently but clearly help them face reality. Divorce is indeed a major family crisis. But if both parents cooperate, they can still be great parents. Always prioritize your child's needs and interests. And don't let personal pride or negative emotions unintentionally harm them. Another critical point: before and during the divorce process, please don't turn your home into a battleground. Don't let your children witness ugly scenes like arguments, shouting, smashing things, or even abuse. These images will deeply imprint on their young minds, negatively affecting their personality development. Children may struggle with friendships, feel lonely, frustrated, or act out in defiance. They might also experience unexplained physical issues like stomachaches or headaches, chronic anxiety, apathy, sadness, or excessive clinginess to their caregiver. As they grow up, children who experience an incomplete childhood due to their parents' divorce often follow one of 2 paths. Some will deeply value family, having understood the pain and challenges they endured. Others, sadly, may repeat their parents' mistakes, carrying negative beliefs that prevent them from maintaining their own happiness. Many may seek dependency on others in a fragile way or, conversely, lose trust in love and live in fear of betrayal. Divorce is not the end. We all know that divorce causes immense stress, not only for adults but also for children. Every child, depending on their age and personality, will react differently to this major change. What they need most is quality, private time with their parents to reaffirm that they are still loved and cared for. Children need parents to maintain an open, calm, and honest attitude, be ready to answer their questions and concerns sincerely, so they trust that their parents will always be there to help them through this tough time. In conversations with your children, try to set aside anger or resentment toward the other parent. Most importantly, emphasize that they are not the reason for the family's breakdown. Post-divorce, many parents hold misguided or even distorted views about their responsibilities toward their children. Some believe divorce marks the end of everything, leading them to neglect their duties, failing to visit, care for, or provide for their children. On the other hand, the custodial parent might create obstacles, restrict, or outright prevent the other parent from seeing the child. Worse, some, still harboring resentment or bitterness toward their ex-spouse, badmouth or blame them in front of the child, planting distorted, negative images of the other parent in the child's mind. In extreme cases, some even request to remove the other parent's name from the child's birth certificate or change the child's surname, driven by a desire for revenge or to cause lifelong pain by alienating the other parent from their child. These actions, regardless of the reasons behind them, deeply wound a child's soul. Faced with such negativity, children often become self-conscious, withdrawn, or hesitant to interact with others. Conversely, some may act out rebelliously to gain their parents' attention. There have been countless heartbreaking stories of children unequipped to cope with such life-altering events, leading to severe consequences like prolonged psychological trauma, vulnerability to manipulation, abuse, or deceit by others. Dear parents, divorce is something no one wishes for, but if it's unavoidable, do everything in your power to support your children. Love, patience, listening, and a positive attitude from both sides are the best medicine to help your children navigate this challenging phase and grow up healthy,